Hey, what's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be looking at a stunning trio of guitars from Gibson, the ES Supreme Collection. Yes, this is the ES 335 that is getting the Supreme treatment from Gibson, which means that some of the specs are upgraded and the appointments are elevated. These are stunning looking instruments, and the ones I have here come in the 3 knockout finishes. This one happens to be the Blueberry Burst, which is just amazing, just translucent and vivid. The neck on this guitar is definitely on the bigger rounded C side. So it has a really full C. And as I get to the others, they vary in shape and profile. The pickups as well, I find this one has a really great snarl in the bridge and a nice smooth sound in the neck. And over there behind me, I have the Bourbon Burst for more of the traditional people who like classic finishes. All of the guitars that I have here feature AAA grade figured maple tops. As you can see, these are just eye-catching right off the bat. There is also a Royal Tan model available, as well as a 3 pickup ebony version on Gibson.com as well. You have a really great collection of ES 335 models that have received Gibson's Supreme treatment. Now, what does that mean exactly? It means that in addition to the AAA grade figured maple tops, it's also on the back of the guitar, on the side, full binding, double bound. The body, of course, is maple, poplar, and maple with a mahogany neck that's bound, of course. There's also a compound radius ebony fretboard with super split block inlays, which are mother of pearl. The frets are plecked through Gibson's pleck machines. We also have a bound headstock, Gibson mother of pearl logo, a chandelier inlay at the top here. So as you can see with the AAA grade figured maple top, it's also found on the back and sides. And then of course over here, on my left is the seafoam green finish. So let's talk about the body. It is a 3-ply maple poplar maple body with the center block. Obviously, it's semi-hollow construction, which is typical for an ES 335. The guitar also features a mahogany neck with a rounded C profile. I'll talk about that a little bit later. There's also a bound 22 fret ebony fingerboard with a compound fingerboard radius from 10 to 16 inches. Obviously, you'll notice the mother of pearl super split block inlays, which really stand out on this model. Moving back toward the body, we have a 5-ply black pickguard. Obviously, you can see the gold hardware. We have a Nashville Tunematic bridge with stop art in aluminum. You'll notice the black top pad knobs with gold inserts, which elevates the look of the guitar. Moving over to the voice of the guitar, we have Gibson's Burstbucker pickups. Now over here in the bridge, we have a Burstbucker Lead Pro Plus, and in the neck, we have a Burstbucker Rhythm Pro. The real standout too is both the volumes for the rhythm and bridge are coil tap. So simply picking up the volume knobs is a coil split for both pickups. 2 tones, 3-way toggle, and last but not least, locking Grover Keystone tuning machines. So as you can see, these guitars are definitely on the fancier side, and they will certainly turn heads at any black tie event you want to bring them to. So across the necks, this one has very much what I would consider one of the Les Paul modern necks. It's a rounded C, but it's on the slimmer side on this particular Seafoam Green model. Super comfortable and just really great all around. This is probably my favorite neck of the 3, but not to knock the other 2, they play great. So it's really easy to play these guitars. But as I said, each one has its own particular voice, especially when you coil split as well. Like, just take a listen to this particular one. The bridge has a nice little snarl to it as well. Then I'll roll off a bit. So you can hear it, it's almost that little bit of that notched wah sound to it. It's really cool. Then bring it in. Even here on the neck. Really well balanced. Pull up on the neck here. And then you can just sort of mix and match here as well. In the middle position. I mean, just great. Let me move on to the other guitars while I have this particular sound. Now keep in mind, this is all the same sound, and you're going to hear how each guitar just sounds totally different from the other. Now here on the Bourbon Burst, this has more of like a honky, mid-ranged focus on the bridge pickup, and then you'll hear also on the neck. This just has its own particular character, which is great. This reminds me very much of like an old 60s Cream sound. And let's pull up on that. A little mixing and matching here. Again, the neck on this particular one is a definitely rounded C as well, and it kind of splits the difference between the seafoam green and the blueberry over here. This one's sort of right in the middle. It has just a little more meat than this one, but still plays great. And thanks to Gibson's spectacular plex job, these guitars just play themselves. Now, as far as tone, I think this particular one, the Bourbon Burst, sounds best to my ears, but honestly, I can make either guitar close to what I want it to sound. But I think this thing has a real magic in the pickups on this one. It's just really got that nice cutting tone on this particular model. But let's see how it compares to the Blueberry Burst, which is a whole nother character. Now on this one, the neck, of course, is just the biggest of the three, but still feels great, easy to play on, but definitely noticeable. Take a listen to these pickups, totally different from the other two guitars. This has a little bit more bite than the other two. That one's a little honkier, and this one has a little more bite to it. And definitely brighter sounding. Neck. Definitely a little drippier tone on this guitar, but again, can't go wrong with either three. And as you heard before, all three guitars really handle that higher gain, that liquid kind of distortion really well. Just so smooth sounding. All three guitars sound great, even when you add a little more gain, get more of that sort of liquid type of soloing tone. And let's not forget, I'll do a quick clean passage on all three guitars so you get to hear how this guitar sounds like with in the middle position, and I'll notch out the treble here just so you get a little bit of color. So as you just heard, all three of these guitars have their own sonic character. All of them great. It's just a matter of preference. Like anyone who's shopping for a guitar, I urge you just to try as many as you can and find the one that speaks to you, both sonically and with the best playability. As I had mentioned before, all three of these guitars are almost identical in playability. They play themselves and they're effortless. It's just a particular, whether you like the particular neck shape. I just found there's definitely a variation on all three. It may have nothing to do with the finish. It just may be just the way the necks were carved. But these are USA-made guitars. There's a reason why these are considered some of the best guitars in the world. These are guitars with elevated appointments and stunning finishes, which truly make them elegant. There's a good reason why these are called the Gibson ES Supreme. Definitely check them out.